Hello folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Out here at the Avon Park Aero Models Incorporated Club. I'm going to take up the Avios King Twin. This is the second time I have ever flown this plane. My rates are one rate of 100% throws over 30% expo. And that's it. You know what? After all that, I never put the expo in. I thought I had, but I never did. So we're going to put the expo in there. Okay. Right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator, right rudder, left rudder. Motor's on, timer set for 6 minutes. I'm running a 5000 4S Spectrum Smart battery. I got it pushed back just a little bit more than what I had the 4000. The book actually calls for a 3300 to 4000, so I got a 5000. I'm going to see how she does. This is the second flight. Might be a little heavy, but oh, and I did take the props off and balance them. They were a little bit off. I can tell you one thing about this plane. She does get off the ground in a hurry. Needing some up elevator, but that's probably because of the heavier battery. I gotta tell you, I really do wish.
Landing flaps. Flaps up. Gear down.
I'll fly around. No, I think I'll go ahead and land her. Okay.
Time remaining 5 minutes.
Oh man, that was wonderful. No flaps. But yeah, she'll get right up and scoot.
Landing flaps. Flaps up.
Here, we're gonna bring her by for a low pass. Almost like a landing pass here.
Gear down.
All right. Oh, I stepped in a hole. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I like this bird. What I have decided I'm going to do, and a couple people have done this,
4 minutes.
is I'm going to replace the front nose gear with the Freewing ME262 nose gear. And oh, that was a good landing. Yeah, the ME262 nose gear is the exact same size, but the very end of it, down at the, where the wheel meets, has that trailing link shock absorbing strut, and it'll fit perfectly. It's just a swap out the whole servo motor, everything just swaps out. Plug it in, screw it in, and you're ready to go. No modification than that needed to be done. And the back mains, I'm going to leave them alone, but I'm going to put 2-inch DeBros low bounce tires, and that will help with the landings. Even though the landings are fine right now, I'm going to do that. And the other thing I'm going to do is I haven't got her clear coat yet, and I've thought about changing out the props, but I gotta tell you, since I bounced the prop, I'm not really hearing anything, and they look good. And if you need replacement props, the
Gear up.
yeah, if you need replacement props, the props from the
Gear down.
Albatross or the Bushmule will work.
Landing flaps.
All right, we're going to try landing flaps this time. Man, this wind is just... All right. Landing flaps just as manageable. Okay, but yeah, the that whole front nose gear, it just wobbles all over the place. That is the biggest, the Achilles heel of this plane is that nose gear. What I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to replace it with that metal gear, and then the steering tiller arm, I'm going to replace it with a solid piece of steel, a hard piece of steel, and I'm going to maybe even change out the nose gear for the nose servo. If it's not a metal geared servo, I'm going to put a metal geared servo in there, and then that way should take out a lot of that slop, because when you're going down a runway, even though your nose gear is neutral, you're just wobbling back and forth. Here, I'm going to show you what I'm going to mean. I'm only going to take off with only we're not going to use takeoff flap. We got too much wind. Just watch how this thing, I got to fight this thing back and forth, and I'm not hardly using any rudder at all.
Gear up.
And that 5,000 in there feels really good. It really does. Yeah, the 5,000 feels fine in there. Yeah, see how she just was all over the place? I wasn't even touching the rudder. And that was just how she is. Still got 2.5 minutes. She just, yeah, just goes all over the place. You know what? Just because we can, and the grass has been recently, oh man. Well, I say it's been recently cut. For this, I will use takeoff flaps.
Takeoff flaps.
But we're going to do grass ops. And like I said, this is the second time I've ever flown this plane. So, bear with me. Going to use takeoff flaps. We're trying to get her off of this.
Flaps up. Gear up.
As soon as possible.
Gear down. Time remaining 2 minutes. Landing flaps.
Yeah, she doesn't need any kind of mix. That's for sure. Any kind of elevator to flap mix, she doesn't need it. All right. See what my problem was?
Landing flaps. Gear up. Flaps up. Gear down.
My nose gear wasn't down. Yeah, I'm not going to subject her to the damage of the grass hops again. Sorry, this grass is awfully thick for that. Yeah. Still got a minute. Look at that. Just went. She ground looped like a, almost ground looped like a tail dragger. Yeah. The Achilles heel on this plane is the nose gear. But it's still workable. I mean, I'm taking off and landing just fine All right, this will be the last time we're going to take off, and landing will be a definite. Landing is, remember, taking off, I'm not going to take the gear up this time.
1 minute.
No.
Gear up.
Okay. Bring her by one time with the gear up. About 3/4 throttle now.
Gear down.
Gear back down again. I wish my approach was out of the east, so my wind would be out of the west then. But no, my wind is out of the east, so my approach is from the west. And what's significant about that for me is the sun.
20 seconds.
Sun's in my eyes. I don't want the sun in my eyes when I'm trying to fly a plane. All right. Yeah, I'm really loving this plane. Like I said, the only gripe is the nose gear, honestly. Not even the wheel, the nose gear. Because, like I said, so long, it just goes back and forth. And I know I keep saying it over and over and over again, but since I balanced the props, motor off, the motors do not sound overly vibrating, or they don't. And I did check the motor mounts, they're fine. I did have to tighten one up just a touch. The clip in the wings, that part works fine. Like I said in the maiden video, since I do not plan on taking the wing tips off, I glued in just the little plastic part of the caps with some foam tack, or foam tack type glue, but I can easily undo that. But I weighted the wing without the glue, and that, look, when it clicks in, that wing's not going to come off. Those wing halves will not come off. That glue I put in there is just to hold that pin in place, so the vibration of anything won't, just to keep my crazy mind happy. But it still did fine. I mean, it was nice and solid, secure. And so let's see what kind of battery life. We fooled the full 6 minutes. That's where I've got the 5,000 to where let me take my hat off so I can get in there. But you can get your finger right there and at an angle, so you can see where I've got that 5,000. Let me put my hat back on, put the old hat cam back on, take the battery out of here, and let's see. Like I said, I flew for a solid 6 minutes, a lot of takeoffs and landings and powering out and stuff. And it comes with an EC5, or I'm sorry, an XT90. But it seemed like it fit 51%. I could have flew for 2 more minutes. The XT90, when you can plug in an EC5, an IC5 like this is, into an XT90, but it needs to be a nice strong fit. This has an XT90, and when I plugged my EC5s in, it didn't really fit in real tight, and it just kind of went in there. And I wedged it in place where I knew it wouldn't come loose, but I don't like it. I like a nice, strong, tight battery fix. So what I did was, I took the EC90 and I put an adapter in there, and this fits in there tight. I mean, that is tight. So that's what you want. You don't, I have had batteries come loose before, and if a battery comes loose or undoes and you're in flight, then whatever the plane is at that moment, that's how it's going to fly. It's going to glide in and probably spiral, and you're probably going to lose your plane. Luckily for me, it was down here at the end of the runway, and I was only about a foot off the ground, and I lost connection, and she just landed and bounced on her landing gear. No damage. I got very, very fortunate. Well, there you go, folks. That is the Avios King Twin, and just to show you just how beautiful this plane is. Look at this plane. I'm going to take my hat off. I mean, look at this plane against that sunset. Is that not, I mean, it's just glory. Of course, if you saw the plane like this, the sunset, you're about half a second from death. it was coming at you. But no, that just really looks good, don't it? All right, folks, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is the Avios King Twin. It's the same thing, the Beechcraft King Air. So yeah, don't forget, faith, family, and friends, them planes. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.